Hey there, Virgo. It's Keaghan. I hope that you guys are doing well. Just want to spend a little bit of time here at the beginning shuffling. I know that lots of people want to see me shuffle the decks and they like hearing the sound of shuffling, so I'm trying my best to do that a little bit at the beginning. I did pre-shuffle all of these decks. I will pick one of these. That will be the deck that I start with, and then the other two will be used to clarify cards as we go. This is going to be a reading that is a free shuffle reading. I go back and forth between them. If you're new here, you might not be aware of this, but I just sort of, I do what I want. So sometimes I do just random free shuffle, see what comes out. Other times I do build actual spreads where the cards in certain placements have very specific meanings. So if you're new, I'll go back and forth between those. Please don't get attached to one over the other. And if you are someone who's watched my readings for a while, then you know I go back and forth. Sometimes people get a little bit worked up and they're like, when are you going to do it this way again? When I want to. Okay. So Virgos, really quickly as I'm shuffling this last deck here, I just want to put something up on the screen so you guys can see it. I'm doing specials this month. I've extended the special pricing that I had in October through the month of November. That information is on the screen. And I'm also doing a natal chart tarot reading through the end of Scorpio season. Not doing a lot of them because I know they're going to be very time consuming and also very draining of my energy. But I am doing them. And so if you're interested in that, you can send me an email, keaghantarot@gmail.com. Especially if you want that natal chart combo, let me know as soon as possible because I'm not going to do a lot. Just refuse to. Okay, I want to start with this deck. I'm going to move these two off to the side. We're going to get an oracle card for you first, Virgo. I'm really hoping I'm not going to give you guys a lecture about being too hard on yourselves. But we'll see. If you're not new here, you know that I'm not scared to give you that lecture. I feel like I do it every other month. So, 2 oracle cards coming out for you guys. The first says, my vibes speak louder than my words. And the second card says, I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. So you know what? If this is real, good for you. Okay? I'm actually not feeling what I mentioned in the last Virgo reading, which is like kind of getting like very overwhelmed when tapping into you guys. It actually feels like maybe things have turned around a little bit. Maybe you've embraced that, sometimes when things go wrong, it's because the universe is trying to show you something better, right? Good. Good. Let's see what else came out for Virgo. I don't have a lot to say about those cards. The energy's feeling good so far. Someone left a really funny comment on the last Virgo reading. They were like, because I complained about feeling very anxious and nervous doing readings for Virgo. And someone commented and said, how do you think we feel? Which I thought was great. You guys can't be totally quiet and silent, though. You have to let me see something, Virgo. There we go. Okay, what do we have? 4 of Cups. Good. Upright. Good. Honestly, good. You know what I feel like is going on here? And I think this is what I was getting from the Oracle cards too. It is kind of like you can't see me, but I'm like shaking my shoulders and my head and just being in a place where it's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna disconnect from that for a minute. Right? And it's a detached sort of energy that is actually really good. And I wish I found you guys in this energy more often, right? Where you're disconnected from that judgment, you're disconnected from that like need to be perfect, you're disconnected from worrying about what other people think. And you're able to then look at things and realize, okay, you know what? What do I really want? Like, what is working for me and what's not? And you're able to actually ask those questions without, like, judging them or being in this, like, hamster wheel of trying to, like, analyze it and think about it and come up with, like, the absolute perfect thing. Right? Good. Give me more insight to the 4 of Cups, please. Where's the Four of Cups here? King of Cups. Interesting. Virgos, I'm proud of you. I'm actually really proud of you. You know, the King of Cups represents a place where we're getting our emotions in check. We're getting things back in balance. The other thing I love about the energy with this King of Cups is, you know, the King of Cups is a couple of things I want to say here in terms of the energy. So the King of Cups is not detached from his emotions, but he doesn't allow his emotions to like overwhelm him or control him. He's very in control of his emotions, but he doesn't try to control his emotions, right? The other thing with the King of Cups, whenever the card comes out to me, it represents someone who's very connected to their intuition. They're very connected to that psychic energy. I think that you really are taking the time. I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. I think you've connected to that. I think you've taken some space to get yourself out of that, like, it's like an anxiety tornado sometimes when I read for you guys. And you've gotten out of that. And you're realizing there's an easier way. There's an easier way to go about this. There's an easier way to try to think about things. Four of Swords coming out as well. You know, I think this is coming, it came out on its side. I'm going to leave it on its side because I think, you know, the Four of Cups feels more like where you're at. I think this Four of Swords is coming through as kind of a warning, right? It's very easy to get into the place where when we're thinking about things, to start thinking too much, right? A lot of times the Virgos seem almost more like an air sign. You know, it's like Scorpios can seem more like a fire sign. It's like Virgos for me can sometimes feel like an air sign, and that you can get very, very in your head and very, very trapped in there. I think this is just saying, like, be aware of that. Don't allow yourself to move out of the Four of Cups, which is very productive, very like detached and looking at things and acknowledging so you can deal with them, right? Being in that space of looking and saying, yes, that's not how I want it to be. I can change that. Don't get too caught up in the thinking. Feel your way through it. Allow your intuition to guide you. I don't want big stacks of cards. I'm going to switch decks after this. That deck is done. I just want to keep kind of looking at just general energy here. I don't have anything I want to necessarily clarify. I just think we need a fresh deck. Any more insight into my Virgos, please. Virgos will watch this reading. I'll take that stack. Okay. This card came out on its own, and then we had 3 cards that came out together, so I'm going to keep them that way. Okay, Knight of Wands here coming out reversed. I don't feel like this is your energy, Virgo. If you're a cross-watcher, this might be the energy of your Virgo if you're cross-watching. But in general, I don't think this is yours. I think this might have been someone you were dealing with, Virgo. The Knight of Wands reversed, it's kind of like that energy of like, someone else had this come out earlier, and the way I explained it, I'm just going to repeat myself because I was like, that's the perfect way of explaining this card. It's that like type of connection with someone where you fight and then you have really good makeup sex and that becomes a pattern and a cycle. You know, the Knight of Wands is very like excessive when it comes to like sexual energy, but it's also like a very like unreliable, unstable connection. And there's usually a lot of like arguments and anger. And often that can get confusing because it feels passionate. It feels fiery and exciting. Okay. So I think that's somebody else that you were dealing with. Let's see what these cards were. Page of Cups, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords. Page of Cups is reversed here. The other two are upright. Okay, yeah. Well, I think you really definitely got to a place where you got clarity about what this was, right? Knight of Wands reversed with the Page of Cups reversed, even though like this card came out with it, with these, right? That Page of Cups is another, kind of an immature sort of relationship connection. The Page of Swords here really does feel like you got clarity. Like I'm doing this because if you look at the card, like he's got that sword like right there, dead center. Nine of Swords here, upright. I think you realize this connection was really what was holding you up. Sorry if you're a cross-watcher, but it could have been, like I said, energies could be reversed. But don't come at me in the comments. I hate that. You chose to come in here and pry and listen to what I'm saying to Virgo, right? If you can't handle it, don't cross-watch videos. It's that simple. I think you realize that this relationship was it was draining you. Like, it wasn't serious. It was too chaotic. It was too up and down. It was all over the place. There was all this fighting, and the sex and the passion wasn't enough for you to. You couldn't feel stable. You couldn't feel secure. You did not have this in this. You did not have this King of Cups energy. You've gotten that having ended this. Okay? Good insight. Makes sense why your energy would be different if you've had this realization. Like I just heard like cutting them loose set you free. I've been trying to do this in the reading, so give me 1 second. I have a little note thing open here on my laptop. Cutting them loose set you free. As I say things that really summarize the energy, that's definitely the energy here. I've been trying to write them down so I don't have to try to remember when I'm done with the reading. 'Cause often I'm like, I don't know what I just read. Develop swift amnesia. Do I want to poke in on this person or this relationship? Do you guys want me to? I think most of you don't, but some of you do. So I'll go through one time with this new deck. I'll see. Is there anything that wants to come out about this person, this past connection, this relationship? Any insider guidance about this? No. Like I said, most of you don't care. See, the other thing I love about Virgos, when Virgos are done, they're done. If you're done, you're done. You're done. You're done because you worry and you obsess and you second guess and you try again and you spend so much time, you probably spent so much time in this trying to see what could, like when you're done, you're done. Now, for those of you who don't feel like you're done, you can reach out to me for a personal reading, but I don't think most people care. So let's look forward, okay? Let's take a look. What does the future hold for the Virgos who have ended this connection, are fine with it being ended, right? If that's not you, the reading from this point on probably isn't for you. You can reach out to me if you still want to know more about this person or if you still want to make this work. Those of you who are like, no, I'm done. Let's see what's around the corner. Who else is around the corner? Hang out with me. King of Swords. Very interesting. Very interesting. I like this King of Swords energy, and I do feel like it's the potential. It's the potential for someone new. First of all, leveling up from this, Knight Page level. Leveling up to a king. Very smart person. Very smart. Very clever in how they look at things. I think that this could be a very good connection for you, Virgo, because the King of Swords upright, which could be an air sign. It doesn't have to be, but it could be an air sign. King of Swords upright represents someone who, where this I said like this person has their emotions in control, but they don't try to control their emotions. The King of Swords, I'll often say that it's someone who they make their mind work for them. They don't let themselves be controlled by their mind. Okay? And I think this could be a good balance for you, especially when you get into that place of like, you know, that like anxiety tornado I talked about. This would be a good like leveling force for you, I think. Tell me more about the King of Swords, please. For Virgo. What's the King of Swords here? Exactly what I was talking about. That Knight of Wands again, showing up again. Ugh. Okay, this King of Swords absolutely could help you move on from this. Ten of Wands coming out reversed here. This is a place where you're like taking a break, finally saying no to something, realizing it was too much work, too much of a burden, specific to the Knight of Wands, which was over here as well, reversed. Like I said, you're done with this, right? I do feel like this Knight of Wands might come back, but by that point, you're like, either you've met this person or you know that you want this. It's a no. If they come back, it's a no. No. Done. 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 Good job, Virgo. Give me more insight for Virgo around your future, please. Give me more insight for Virgo. Okay, so this card was resting against me like this. I'm just going to put it there. We'll see what it is. We have the Chariot card coming out reversed here. Let's talk about this. Okay. Virgos, I want to just give you a little bit of a warning. And I have to be honest about what I feel from this Chariot reversed. Okay. I think that you feel a lot of relief right now. Right? I think you feel a lot of relief. Don't allow that to turn into just sort of like letting go of everything. Like just, first of all, it's not in your nature. It's not in your nature to just take your hands off the wheel and say, wherever the car crashes is fine with me. That's not who you are. But I think it has felt nice to sort of like let this go and not be in your head. But you have to still... You have to still be disciplined. You have to still be motivated. You have to still be careful about your decisions. Because if not, you're just going to end up doing things or making decisions that ultimately stress you out and put you back into the anxiety tornado. Right? I also think it's important for you to keep pushing yourself forward, to know where you're going. Right? It's fine to rest. It's fine to take a break, but you can't stay there. You can't stay there for long because you need to be able to like be working towards something, motivating yourself. Let's see what this card is. We have Justice. And I do feel like with this, it is sort of like a, not necessarily a block, but with the Chariot, I think it's connected in terms of just like some insight and warning, right? Don't turn this past into like a mental prison for you. If this person comes back, don't allow them to get into your head. Don't allow them to get in there and mess you up. Don't believe them at face value with anything that they say. I'm just going to say that. I feel like there are a lot of cross-watchers who are mad at me, but I'm going to name this video Cutting Them Loose, Set You Free. Why would you watch it? Like, it never goes well for people who like come at me in the comments, right? I will say energies can be reversed. If a Virgo did all of this to you, then take it that way. Let the energy be reversed. It's a general reading. I'm not reading it. Sometimes I know it can feel like a personal reading. I'm not reading for you individually. I'm reading for a collective energy. If you want me to read for you individually, you can send me an email. Happy to do it. Three of Coins here. I'm going to take this card upright because I want this to be the energy that I'm giving to you guys in this reading. Three of Coins is about being connected to people, leaning in, having support, being part of a team, not trying to take it all on our own, not isolating ourselves, not being disconnected, right? Okay, do I want to... I want to grab one new deck just to see what wants to come out. I'll go through this deck one time, and then, you know, I think you guys are good. I don't want to stress you out with a bunch of stuff, and I think you're in a place where you're chilling. There's potential for someone new to come in. I do think most of you who are listening to me are done with the stuff from the past. You're in a good space, but I want to see if anything else wants to come out just in terms of insight for what's approaching you during the month, okay? Anything else for Virgo the month following when they watch this reading? Any additional insights for Virgo? Okay. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Virgo, 8 of Cups, coming out upright. Now, I always explain the 8 of Cups in a very specific way, but at its core, right, this means moving on, moving forward towards something new. But the 8 of Cups, and I love this, I grabbed this deck because this is a perfect illustration for this. If you look at this card, you can see there was another cup here. The 9th cup, the wish fulfillment cup, the dream come true cup. This person has taken that 9th cup, and all it represents, they've moved forward. It then becomes their Ace of Cups, the thing they extend out and offer to someone new. Good job. You've taken back your cup, you're ready to move forward and offer it to someone who is deserving of it. I'm very proud of you. Good job. Good job. Hey, let's get a final oracle card for you, Virgo. See what wants to come out. We have obstacles are detours in the right direction. That's what that person was. True healing occurs when I give myself permission to feel whatever feelings live below the triggers. And that's exactly what happened here too. The stress, the anxiety, the worry, all of that stuff, those were symptoms. This was the cause. Cutting them loose has set you free. Continue forward, Virgo. That's it. That's all I have to say. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Thank you for not having this be a stressful reading. I thank you for those who are still with me. I enjoyed doing that reading, and like I said, I'm super proud of you. Okay.